All right, and we are live here on YouTube for the Good Ranchers 250 here at Phoenix Raceway. The NTT INDYCAR Series is back. All right, here we go. Again, we're just getting everything set up. As this is our first INDYCAR event of the year, we may need to figure something out here with the width of it. So just give me a break. We will have that troubleshooted hopefully sooner rather than later. In fact, actually, I think we can troubleshoot this very easy. In fact, go ahead and just boom, move that up there, and then all right. Let's see. So that is. Go, and now we just need to. Oh. All right, there we go. I think that is everything all nice and neatly lined up, and we are ready for the race. So again, this is the NTT INDYCAR Series. If you guys are new here, yeah, this is essentially America's open wheel series. Similar style, a similar style of car to what you would see in Formula One racing. Although, unlike Formula One, they do race on ovals, including the feature of the series, obviously the Indy 500 most famous race. But they do run other ovals, like today at Phoenix, where they're doing a doubleheader with the NT with the not NTT with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series later on tonight. I'm not sure right now if I'm going to be streaming the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, but we are here and ready to go for the IndyCar Series. So we are here, just looking at the track map, trying to familiarize myself with it. Luckily, it is a familiar venue as it is NASCAR, as it is a NASCAR venue too. I'm gonna try and do a few of these IndyCar races. I had intended on doing last week. I had intended on doing the IndyCar race at St. Petersburg, but we had a lot of computer troubles last week, so ultimately we were only able to do a race review of the Cup race. I believe those issues are fixed, and we should be able to be live for sure this race and the this race and the Cup race tomorrow. I just don't know about the IndyCar, about trying to do two in the same day. One, because I'm tired. I was at work all day. I literally got home and immediately put this together, but we are here and ready for this one. Hopefully you guys are excited. I know I certainly am. Let's see. All right, we got ourselves. They got Clint Boyer doing the two-seater ride along in the their two-seater IndyCar that they have built to take special guests around the track. But yeah, man, these Indy cars are insane. 175 miles an hour around a 1 mile oval is insane. They were faster here in 2018 under the old regulations. Adding is I'm guessing that just adding the aero screen that they added, that added like 50 to 60 pounds, I think, of weight. Definitely hurt the overall speed. It'll help the safety, which is absolutely a net win. But when you're looking at pure speed, it does hurt on a short oval to have extra weight. When it comes to your overall lap times, especially if that extra weight isn't helping you produce extra horsepower, which that one was, which the aero screen is not. Although the added aerodynamics should help a little bit. Alright, so there we go. We are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, let me know who you guys are rooting for in today's race, or if you even know any of the drivers. Obviously, we got the top 15 on the screen, unlike the normal top 10 we have for NASCAR. Just the way it sizes out, it works easier to have 15 drivers on screen rather than 10. And well, Are any of you guys gonna complain about having extra cars on screen? Okay, no, I didn't think so. But again, they're out there pacing as we are going to be getting ready for this one. The one problem with this, and I will give you guys the heads up now, is that the on-screen leaderboard will update a lot more frequently than or a lot earlier than the NASCAR one will. Normally, we're fairly close to the NASCAR one, but if I remember correctly, the IndyCar one has a major delay to what we see on TV, although I don't remember if that was the same when they moved over to Fox or if that was purely back when they were like a Peacock slash NBC partner. Because sometimes the different partners do have different paces, but yeah, no, there it goes. So they're about to drop the green flag, and we will be ready to rock and roll here. And David Malukas, the pole sitter, first time pole sitter here for the NTT INDYCAR Series, as Malukas is getting ready. It's Malukas Newgarden on the front row here as we get ready to take the green flag. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of Malukas and Newgarden. Back to where the original start-finish line used to be. Back the last time the IndyCars raced here. All the way back around to the new start-finish line. And green flag is out. We are racing in the desert. The NTT INDYCAR Series, again, 250 laps. It is going to be a absolute whirlwind around here as they take to the green flag. Malukas, little Dave to the lead. David Malukas, he's had some runner-up finishes on short ovals in the recent past. I would not be shocked to see him dominate the day in a Penske-powered IndyCar. He was able to get some of those second places in lesser equipment. Now this year, his first time in a fully powered, a fully powered Penske-equipped car. Yeah, little Dave is going to be quick. Newgarden up to second. Ray Hall to third. Mick Schumacher, the son of famous driver Michael Schumacher, up into the top, qualified inside the top five, and has maintained that through the first couple of laps after an unfortunate wreck that ended his race on lap 1 a week ago. Essentially his first real race, and he is up inside the top 5. A great start here for Schumacher. But as they continue to work their way around this one, of course, you got last week's winner, Alex Palou, starting a little bit further back in the 10th position, as he is going to be trying to charge through the field as fast as he can, trying to make up spots, because as a Palou, like most of these other guys, are going to know that this race is going to be a factor of you've got to be close. You don't have to necessarily be leading the race, but you have to be close enough to get it done in the closing laps. And again, this race is going to go by in a hurry. Just logging laps. Will Power in his Andretti car. Yeah, he used to be kind of one of the short oval kings in that number 12 car that little Dave just put on the pole. But yeah, again, right now, Power all the way back in 24th place. It is a struggle here for the driver out of Australia. Marcus Ericsson in the 12th position here. He's trying to hang on and defend from... Will Power was... Oh, okay. How is Will Power in 15th and right on the tail of 12th? Something is not right here. Okay, Marcus Ericsson's information is just off. Okay, so Ericsson is in 14th position. Alright, so we got it. We figured out where everybody was. I don't know why Fox's information was off, but again, the 26 of Power trying to line up Ericsson for a pass. Obviously, Ericsson, a powerful Ganassi machine there. We've seen Chip Ganassi cars be able to hang tough on some of these ovals. Obviously, Scott Dixon being a very formidable driver when his car holds together. Not the most luck at the Indy 500, but some of the other short ovals, he's been able to hang close. Of course, the most recent winner at this track, Joseph Newgarden, running in the second position. But, of course, that was also literally 8 years and a pandemic ago. But I'm curious to see how Joseph Newgarden will do here in his first return to the track since that win. And I do see a yellow flag has been thrown here, waiting to see what it's going to be for. But again, we've got Power continuing to try and hound the back bumper of these cars. I believe that is. Oh, sorry, that is not Power. That is Christian Rasmussen. Very similar colors on there. Starting to hound the back bumper of Dennis Hauger. And oh, yep, there's the caution. Off the nose of Rasmussen, and Dennis Hauger gets spun around backwards. The rookie of the race last week, and he ends up backwards, although it doesn't actually look like he sustained any real damage in that incident. Say no visible damage that I can see. Let's see the replay here, because it comes up behind him. I mean, that was just a bad bump, but incredible car control by Hauger to not hit anything there and just let it roll backwards until he had enough clear track to go ahead and spin himself back around. That is incredible car control by Dennis Hauger. Wow. That was incredible. I mean, that is not easy to do. To be able to control the spin there, to not hit anything, not spin back up into traffic, not spin down and hit the fence, and just be able to lock it in and avoid any damage is insane. Alright, there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Got 3 people hanging out in chat. We're just chilling out. Currently under the caution flag for the spin of Dennis Hauger, although he managed to keep it out of the fence. So maybe we'll be back to green flag racing here quicker than expected. Let's see the Cup Series lineup, because I saw Cup qualifying was going on. Okay, Joey Logano, the pole sitter. Larson, Cindric, Suarez, Blaney. What on earth is this top 5? And I say all 3 Penske's inside the top 5. Incredible job there. Daniel Suarez is an interesting one. Last week's winner, and the week before that's winner, and the week before that's winner. Tyler Reddick starts in the 8th position. As a Cyclone Hocevar has touched down in the 7th position. Let's see, where are some of the other ones? We got Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell coming from the 11th and 12th positions. Ryan Preece, the winner at the season opening Clash, will roll off 13th. Ty Gibbs 14th. Let's see, where are some other ones? We got SVG and Connor Zilch will be starting together in 18th and 19th. Chase Briscoe 20th. Let's see. Chase Elliott will roll off 22nd. Austin Hill rolls off 27th. Elliott rolls off 26th. Austin Hill will roll off 27th. Let's see. Anthony Alfredo will roll off 31st as he is driving in relief of Alex Bowman following Alex Bowman's diagnosis of vertigo, which he has been dealing which is what caused him to have to leave the race early this past week at Circuit of the Americas. And Brad Keselowski will take up the rear of the field. So, all right, not a whole lot doing here as we are getting all this set up. Again, that is some incredible car control for Dennis Hauger. All right, there we go. There we go. We got 4 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for this. This has been a portion of your very valuable Saturday afternoon here with us. At this point, I am thinking I'm probably only going to do the one race just because I am a little exhausted and I did not have time to get a lot of stuff done between getting home from work and the race because a buddy of mine needed a ride home, so that was a bit, and I still have to go out and do some other stuff too tonight, so probably only gonna do the one race, but I did want to try and do the IndyCar and NASCAR since we're doing the doubleheader. Originally, I really wanted to be able to travel to this race, but it just wasn't in the cards for this year, unfortunately. So yeah, we got and I say for anyone who is just a general sports fan, we do have NFL free agency coming up. Max Crosby got traded for 2 first-round picks this past week. Or not this past week, but late last night. So, yep. But again, we're just kind of waiting this one out while we wait for the green flag to come back out. But if you guys have any specific topics you guys like to hear me talk about, let me know, and I will. That way, I can know what you guys want to hear about. You guys want to hear about some football takes from the off season? Absolutely, let me know. I have plenty. You guys want to hear me talk NASCAR Cup Series? Let me know. If you guys want to hear me talk IndyCar, obviously, that would be a big part of why you're here. Green flag's out. We are back to racing. Let's see. Everybody trying to fan out 2, maybe 3 wide, although these cars being incredibly quick, it is hard to get 2 or 3 wide too quickly here as, again, the cars out in front are getting a really good jump. A little bit of a slingshot there by, I can't tell with, I don't know all the pace keeps going off, and Alex Palou! Alex Palou cuts up on somebody, and Alex Palou crashes out. Alex Palou just crashed out of this race. Last week's winner at the streets of St. Petersburg, and now Alex Palou has crashed at Phoenix, and that is unfortunate. There, a crash and DNF. Gonna be a loss of some good points there, and that was Graham Rahal. He was dicing it up with for the 4th position, I believe. And Graham Rahal dives it in, gets clear of him. It was a diving move, but again, Graham Rahal cleared himself good, and then it was actually the car behind Graham Rahal. He cut up on. Not sure what blue and white car that was. Initially, I thought it. I can't see the number. It's 76 of VK. 76 of VK. So, Renus VK is the driver who got squeezed there. So yeah, that is unfortunate. Luckily, it looks like VK didn't get a ton of damage, and his damage should be repairable. Unfortunately, Alex Palou's day is done though from that damage. So Alex Palou will fail to finish this race at Phoenix, and he will be the dead last finisher in this race. Meanwhile, again, Renus VK, driver of the number 76 car, manages to survive one here. All right, there we go. So they're going to commercial break. I'm going to run and use the bathroom real quick, and we will be right back, guys. I'm just going to run a quick ad. Sorry about that. We are back. We are back under the green flag here. Malukas still leading over Newgarden. Rossi, Ray Hall, McLaughlin has jumped up into the top 5, though. Mick Schumacher still holding on to a top 10 spot. We're going to be keeping an eye on Schumacher throughout the afternoon. All right, but yeah, there we go. Sorry about the delay. Ooh, man. All right, sorry about that. We are locking in here, getting ready for this one. But yeah, here we go. We got Power. We got Will Power all the way back in 17th, trying to fight with Felix Rosenquist for 16th. And they're talking with Alex Palou, who is now out of the race car again. Glad to see he is okay. You never want to see a driver injured. But they make these race cars super safe, so especially a small impact like that, there was no real worry that he was hurt. But you still hate to see it for him to have his day done already. Alright, so there we go. Alright, yeah, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright, so there we go. Schumacher drops to 11th as Ericsson and Rasmussen jump up into spots 9 and 10 here. Again, Dennis Hauger still in the lead lap here in 20th. VK did lose 4 laps after the contact there. Looks like Romain Grosjean also out of the race at the moment. Unsure as to what caused that. I don't know if there was another caution while I was gone that I missed, but yeah, there we go. Alright, there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so we got David Malukas, Newgarden, Rossi. Yeah, they're focusing in on Ericsson here. I'm kind of curious to see how strong little Dave is going to look when we get a little bit later into this race and start seeing Newgarden starting to challenge him. I thought they had a green progress bar going at the top, but we're now already a fifth of the way into this race, and no green has been filled in on that progress bar. So clearly, what I thought was a progress bar isn't. So, we are 45 laps complete here as we are working through, again, 250 total laps on the day. So, yeah, there we go. Kyle Kirkwood up in the top 10. Again, he's one of those guys I've started to, as I started to pull for late last year, especially. I always thought that he was one of those guys that could contend with Palou, specifically at the street circuits. Obviously, when we get to the short ovals, the Penske guys and the ovals in general, the Penske power does tend to take over, especially on the short ovals. But yeah, I always thought Kirkwood was pretty cool. But yeah, Malukas, Newgarden, though, even Alexander Rossi up there in the top 3. Again, I feel like we don't talk enough about. I haven't heard enough about Alexander Rossi over the basically ever since he left Andretti. Actually, I feel like I just have not heard much about him. He had like a 3-year span where he was the second or third best driver every given year. Was runner up for the championship like 2 or 3 years in a row, and ended up coming up short. But yeah, that is again, it's nice to see him back up in contention in the Ed Carpenter machine. Might only be at the ovals, but again, it works pretty good. Alright, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time, though. Let me know your predictions for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. Again, I probably will not be streaming it, but I will be keeping an eye on it, though. if you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, if I when I potentially don't end up streaming it, tune in tomorrow for the Cup Series race where I will be streaming that, and yeah, hear my thoughts on it then. All right, so again, we are. Again, they're still under the green flag there. Look, they appear to be going to a commercial break right about now, so we will be just chilling out waiting for this one. And it is going to be a side-by-side commercial. Let's go! All right, Good Ranchers, the title sponsor of the race. I love it when we can see drivers involved in these commercials. But yeah, so again, actually, let's take a look at the IndyCar Series schedule and see which races we might end up calling. Because again, I'm not the as a IndyCar is not my number one that I watch. Arlington, I think that one I have to do. So next week's Arlington Grand Prix at 12:30 on Sunday. I think I have to do that one. That one is I think a must. The race in and around or not Dodgers, the Rangers Stadium, along with the that one. That one I think overlaps the NASCAR race too much. April 19th. What date is what weekend is that? That is a Sunday. Cup race is at 2 p.m. Okay, we'll have to see what we end up doing with because Long Beach is one of those events on the IndyCar series that I do love and would love to cover. It starts at 5:30 though, and the NASCAR race starts at 2. I don't know that NASCAR will be over by then. All right, let's see full schedule. Then we got the May 9th. That is a Saturday, so we could definitely skip Xfinity at the Glen to cover NTT IndyCar if you guys would like. Indianapolis 500, absolutely. We try to cover that one every single year. Then we got Detroit Grand Prix after that, which that one I'm kind of interested in. I'm actually no, sorry, Detroit's not the one. It isn't the new venue that I was looking for. Then we got a late June 7th. Please tell me that's a Saturday night, not a Sunday night. Nope, that is a Sunday night, 9 p.m. start time for Gateway. They're coming back from commercial break again. You guys have not missed a thing. So now it looks like only two. Only looks like two yellows on the progress bar. So I don't know what happened to Romain Grosjean, but he is out of the race too. But yeah, so that one I'd love to do it. It's a late night one with a 9 p.m. start time. Guarantees that the NASCAR race should be done by then, though. And a lot of these, it's like, okay, they're really close to overlapping with the. Music City Grand Prix, we'll have to wait and see on that one. The Freedom 250, I want to see that one in Washington, D.C. I want to be able to cover that one. Then we got the doubleheader at Milwaukee. I'd like to cover the Saturday of that at least. All right, but yeah, so again, there's a lot of different races later this year, and I want to cover some of them. Hopefully, you guys will be interested in hearing me talk about some of them. But Christian Rasmussen has moved all the way up into 6th place. He's up 10 spots. That is insane work there. Great job by Christian Rasmussen. Again, working his way all the way up there. He is 3.1 seconds off the leader in David Malukas, but at the moment, just the fact that he's competing with these cars inside the top 5 and has been able to pass as many of them as he has been, because that's usually kind of IndyCar's biggest problem over the years has been just kind of the amount of aero weight off the back of these cars, it makes it hard to close up and hard to pass, especially at the short ovals. But all in all, I mean, Christian Rasmussen does not look like he's having any trouble passing anybody. And I mean anybody. We'll have to wait and see what happens when he gets to, well, some of the other Penske cars, because he did just pass McLaughlin, which is one of those 3 Penske cars. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what it looks like when he gets up to someone like Newgarden or Malukas to try and fight with them for position. All right, there we go. So Plo and Grosjean both out of the race here. Stingray Robb is now 2 laps down. Kyle Collette has now dropped off the lead lap. All right, yeah. Again, right now though, Stingray Robb trying to do his best to hold close to the position so that he can try and as they try and fight David Malukas for that spot on the lead lap. Going to another side-by-side commercial. I think we're doing 2 of these within a 20-lap span is a little questionable, especially with how fast the laps are here. It's not like a lot of time has passed, so I mean, I like the fact that there's not any full screen commercials, but all right, here we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Whew. Again, it's been a long day. We are here though. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. We are 71 laps in, and we're going to start to see some green flag pit stops occurring here shortly. Sorry, as I said that, I looked up and I see where the TV is only at 65 laps, and we are fully caught up. Yeah, so there we go. Here comes the first driver onto pit road. It looks like Pato O'Ward is going to be the first one to jump onto pit road, leading a group of cars. Again, trying to be the first one to make the change onto the fresh tires. So a lot of drivers coming down pit road, and we're going to see a bunch of shakeups here. All right, so there we go. Oh, little Dave coming to pit road. Little Dave is coming to pit road. I'm starting to think their lap counter at the top is broken because it's still saying 65. And that means it's been stuck on that for at least 4 laps now. And then we go Mick Schumacher in the pits, getting fuel, getting tires. And there's Newgarden. Waiting on gas. There he goes. And yep, here comes little Dave coming into the pits now. And for whatever reason, the lap count on Fox's broadcast is broken, so I do not know what lap we are watching. But little Dave is coming down pit road. Again, Rasmussen, Armstrong, Dixon, Rosenquist, and Ferrucci have currently cycled out to the top 5 spots here. All right, there we go. And there he goes. Newgarden actually passing David Malukas for the effective lead of the race here. All right, so there we go. David Malukas tried to put a decent block on his teammate, realized he was too late, and ended up wisely pulling off of that move. Good move on his part to not. So you don't ever really want to wreck yourself and a teammate. And wrecking yourself is bad. Wrecking yourself and a teammate would be even worse. But yeah, it's the same kind of block. The 3 car tried on McLaughlin. So, all right, there we go. Here comes Rasmussen into the pits. Alright, man, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, right now, the battle between Malukas and Newgarden is one to keep an eye on. The battle for 9th and 10th right now. Although Ward is up there, we might see Pato Ward actually inherit the lead here. All right, there we go. Man, there we go. All right, so again, Newgarden has managed to settle ahead of his teammate Malukas here for the 7th position as we're settling in right now. Again, lots of jerking for positions here. Going 3 wide around Mick Schumacher at one point there. But again, right now, a Ward out in front of the field of the drivers who have already pit. Then you've got guys like Armstrong, Dixon, Rosenquist, Hauger, and Kiffin Simpson who have yet to pit.
Three, two, one, go!
Oh. Alright, again, we're just chilling out. Wow, again, the pace of the race is quick. I was like, these Indy cars, I gotta give them that. It's like, the Indy cars are fast. And as we see more and more guys pitting, Award is moving closer and closer to that top spot here. In fact, he's only a couple of seconds away from passing. He's closing currently on Kiffin Simpson for the next spot on Merritt. All right, so tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Cup Series. All right, Marcus Armstrong hits pit road. Again, Dixon, Rosenquist, Hauger, the current top 3, have not pit. Pato Award, Newgarden, the first 2 that have pit. there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. So again, we got a pretty good race going here. Here comes the 21 of the 21 of Rasmussen making his way up through here. Oh, man, again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, and we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We're 93 laps into this one, rocking our way towards this halfway point. Halfway in this race will be about a lap 125. At the conclusion of 125, it'll be officially halfway. But yeah, again, these cars are fast, and Felix Rosenquist's going to have to come to pit road at some point. So is race leader Scott Dixon. And we're just trying to chill out. Hopefully, everyone's having a good time. Alright, looks like everybody's coming to pit road. We should be cycling this one back around here shortly. Alright, there we go. Alright, we have got a. There we go. Oh, wait, no. I don't know why we ended up down in a different box. There we go. That's what we were looking to try and get back to. All right, there we go. Again, we're just man, just trying to get everything all figured out. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, it's been a long day, so I apologize if I am not the most alert here. We are crossing lap 100 here. The Arlington Grand Prix. I'm really interested in that event to see how racing in and around Cowboy Stadium ends up going. So that is definitely one race I'm hoping to be able to cover here on the channel with you guys. Again, next week, before the Cup race, should be a good one. And they got the World Baseball Classic going on. USA versus Great Britain. Okay, I will have to tune in and watch that with my dad later tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know my dad's a big baseball fan. I'm not sure how much he's into the World Baseball Classic. It's not something that happens every year, so. But I'm sure that'll be fun to watch. All right, but yeah, again, right now, Rasmussen's doing a great job. He's driven all the way up. He's passed both Penske cars. Christian Rasmussen might legitimately have a shot at winning this thing. Let's go ahead and skip around to ads and see what we can do here. Give me a minute, guys. Again, I'm just trying to figure this one out. Ooh. Okay, I don't know what is going on. There we go. Put that there together. Cut off the car manufacturers. We'll extend that. Boom. There we go. All right, we got that. All right, there we go. That looks good. I like the look of that. About as good as it's gonna look. So. All right, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Ooh, that was sketchy there, right in front of Rasmussen. Again, so far today, Rasmussen might be my driver of the day as he passed Pato O'Ward. In fact, he passed Pato pretty easily here. Watching this replay here. Yeah, Pato O'Ward doing everything he could to try and hold back the Lundgaard. Lundgaard's on board. Sorry. McLaren cars all look the same, so hard to tell the difference between them. But again, Lundgaard having a really good race today, honestly. Really impressive. Alright, so there we go. Ed Carpenter on top of the pit box watching the car he owns there, the 21, absolutely dominating. I believe Ed Carpenter will still get in a car for the we'll get in a third car for the Indy 500 still. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes, especially if his cars are this good already. With Rasmussen going for the pass on Ericsson here. Again, right now the leader in Rasmussen is just absolutely torching this field. Although Pato Ward's actually starting to reel him back in here a little bit. Oh, and they're talking with Conrad Village here. Right, so they're talking with Conrad Village. He is about his potential of being able to go ahead and run an IndyCar. I'd be kind of curious to see if he could get an opportunity to run an IndyCar here. Because I think that's what a double header like this with NASCAR would really benefit from, would be just a NASCAR driver racing in both the IndyCar and the NASCAR Cup race. The hard part is with IndyCar's new rules around full time cars, you don't see a lot of part time cars anymore. Now, could maybe a Penske or somebody bring an extra car for, say, Cindric or even Connor Zilic? Sure. But somebody would be footing the bill for that, and it won't be them. All right, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. This race has been a pretty good one so far. Award closing in on the back bumper of Rasmussen. Might be time to make an attempt to try and pass him back here. The fact that those two guys are almost 5 seconds out ahead of Newgarden is insane. All right, Pato Ward hits pit road. All right, so with with the Ward going for pit road, I'm kind of curious to see when the rest of these guys might start to peel off. Guys like Rossi. Well, Rossi's a bit farther back. Actually, I didn't realize they flipped to a different page. But yeah, guys like Lundgaard, Power, Ray Hall. Wow, Will Power all the way up to the top 10 already. Good job. His experience paying off quite a bit. All right, so there we go again. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, looks like Christian Rasmussen coming into the pits here. That'll be interesting. Alright, so here comes Rasmussen into the pits here at lap 127. We'll hit pit road, and that'll hand the lead for at least the time being to Newgarden and Malukas, but I am kind of curious to see what their response is going to be after the first round of pit stops where Ward was actually able to leapfrog them. And here we go. Here comes Newgarden into the pit. So goes to Newgarden, hits pit road. 4 tires, fuel, a little bit of a wing adjustment there, a front wing adjustment there, and out of the pits goes Newgarden. Alright, there we go. Again, Malukas, Kirkwood, McLaughlin, and Power all coming to pit road here at the same time. Oh, Malukas has to check up coming out of the pits as he kind of gets blocked in there as somebody else on exit there got in his way. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, everybody's cycling around. Paddle Ward back up into 6th place already. Rasmussen to 8th. Newgarden in 10th here. Malukas all the way back in 14th. I'm curious to see what that ends up doing here. Again, Malukas is behind some people, and I don't know if they all need to necessarily pit, so that is going to be a tough one there. And we've crossed the halfway point here in the race. The fact that we've already had 378 on-track passes is insane. Yeah, the fact that even with the caution flags, their average speed has been about 136 miles an hour, which again is just insane for these drivers. The fact that they're going 136 around a 1 mile oval. Considering the fact that if you're going 120 miles an hour around a 1 mile oval, I mean that means you're doing a full lap around the oval in about 30 seconds. So a little under 30 seconds per lap, which means every 15 seconds or so you're turning to make the corner at the other end of the track. Which again, that is just some insane speed. All right, here we go. You know, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. And so we are halfway through this race. They're talking about Rasmussen trying to just calm himself down here. He does have a win on an oval. I don't remember when he got that one. All right, so there we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right. They're going to commercial break here. Another side-by-side commercial, so they're doing a good job at avoiding a full screen commercial during flight action. Here we go. We're just chilling out here. Ooh, we got a caution flag. Yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, Rasmussen out in front of the field here. Lundgaard to second, Dixon in third. That's going to be an interesting one to see what happens. What the cause of this one is. And see what the downsides are going to be from this one here. There we go. Driver on. Another driver on pit road. It was Christian Lundgaard. And yeah, we're still waiting to see what the caution flag is for. Normally, I would guess somebody getting spun as they were coming onto pit road, but yeah, there it is. Caution flag is out, and who dat? The green car. It might be the 77 of Stingray Rob. And that was the 45 who went and got into the wall there. Still waiting on a full replay here, but as of right now, it looks pretty good. Yeah, the 45 of Louis Foster. All right, so there we go. Yeah, we are chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Let's lock back in here for the final 100 laps. Again, it's going to be a sprint to the finish here. Again, this race is really well paced. Again, let's assume an average of about 130 miles an hour across a 250-mile race. Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. But yeah, so if we average about 130 miles an hour throughout this race, which again, we're averaging 134.522 currently on the miles per hour. As I say, we would get this thing done in right about an hour and 50 minutes, close to 2 hours. Now, obviously, yellows can bring that down. More green flag racing than expected can bring that up. But yeah, that is just the average. So again, and that's assuming an average that's about 4 miles an hour slower than where we are currently. Yeah, 3 yellows in, so we'll have to keep an eye on that at some of the other races, trying to figure out if we can come up with a strategy that works. Hmm. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so USA versus Great Britain. I just saw that matchup again and just thought about the fact that haven't we done this before? Not at baseball, but in war. We should win this one. That should be one of the most patriotic games of the series, though. All right, well, can we just chill out here? Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. So yeah, there we go, showing the big move of the race when, yeah, again yeah, when Christian Rasmussen was just making all these passes on people, including the pass there on Pato Award to take the what was the lead at the time. You know, we'll have to see where the this whole thing shakes out. But right now, Rasmussen is 2 spots ahead of Pato Award. And Malukas is all the way back in 12th here. You know, we're gonna have to wait and see how this green flag how this green flag um cycle goes, but it's gonna be interesting to be for sure. Kirkwood Power Dixon. That's an interesting 1, 2, 3 there. As we got under 100 laps to go. Dennis Hauger, currently the leading rookie. Again, impressive car control from him, especially for a rookie. Not sure where our good old buddy Mick is. Mick Schumacher. Oh, he's in 18th. 18th spot for Mick Schumacher here. As the pace car's off and leaving the field in the hands of Kyle Kirkwood. Kyle Kirkwood and Will Power. and Dixon. All right, there we go. And green flag is out. We are back to racing, and let's go. Kyle Kirkwood away with the lead here. Will Power to second. Rasmussen, the first Chevy, already making a move to the inside on Scott Dixon. Looking to try and make a pass on the bottom of the racetrack. Not able to get it done, though. Scott Dixon holds tough on the outside. Here on the early part of the restart, it was a Rasmussen trying to make a very aggressive lane change there and just was not able to get it done. Dixon, though, trying to look to the outside of Power, almost gets squeezed up into the fence. Dixon keeps it going, but he's right back under attack here from Marcus Ericsson, or sorry, not Marcus Ericsson, Christian Rasmussen. Christian Rasmussen up the inside, gets door to door, wheel to wheel with Scott Dixon for just a moment before having to pull back in line there. Again, putting on a great challenge to the IndyCar veteran there, Scott Dixon. Again, Christian Rasmussen doing an incredible job. As good a job as he possibly can to hang on to this one, just not enough at the moment. So yeah, here we go. Again, everybody's out here trying to gain just a couple of spots here early in the run. While they're all bunched together, this is the easiest time to try and gain a couple of spots. Malukas already up 2 from the restart. Yeah, up from 12th up to 10th here, and going to be trying to continue to climb. But at the moment, it is just really tough here. All right, so there we go. Again, Kirkwood, Power, Dixon, though. The fact that we got 3 Hondas to the front of a race that looked like it was going to be a Chevy domination race between Rasmussen, Award, Newgarden, Malukas, now Ferrucci entering the picture as well. I mean, that's a lot of Chevys compared to the Hondas, which you've had, like, what, Palou, Kirkwood, Power finally has gotten up there. Dixon, I guess, and then maybe Ray Hall's been in the mix too for Honda guys, but it really has felt like a Chevy, a heavy Chevy race here. And there was going to be a Chevy winning this thing almost no matter what. All right, so again, we're chilling here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. All right, yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Ooh, let's say whoever that was behind say Market. Oh no, that was Ferrucci got really loose there and was almost gone there. Gave up a spot to Ray Hall and Malukas there. I say Ferrucci's just glad that that's all that he lost and not the car as a whole, because that car was about to go around on him. But again, right now, so far, again, Rasmussen was the cause of that very first caution when he tapped the rear of Hauger. But again, ultimately, there was no real damage done in that one, so we've kept this thing going green pretty much. We've only had 2 other cautions for contact, at least as of right now. Yeah, again, the Hondas have kind of taken control of this one. Rasmussen has not been able to pick off Dixon, and Dixon is kind of just hanging out about a full second behind Power, who was hanging out about a full second off of Kirkwood. So there we go. Yeah, we are just chilling here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Alright. Alright, so yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. This race has been a really good one, honestly. Let's see if we had any other retirements from the race. No, Louis Foster, 32 laps down, but not out. Not officially yet, at least. Alright, so 172 laps complete here. Again, they are working their way through this one with incredible pace. And Kirkwood starting to distance himself from Will Power, so we could see Kirkwood starting to run away with this one here. Again, Ward hasn't really made any progress on Armstrong. We haven't seen Rasmussen really make another challenge to Dixon after that earlier one that we talked about. It's kind of an interesting situation at this point. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Yeah, Desert Double, time of the IndyCar NASCAR weekend. And again, we got tomorrow's Cup Series race is the second half to it. The Straight Talk 500, 500 kilometers, otherwise 312 miles, 312 laps. So we should be, as I say, the Cup race should be a good one too. But yeah, again, the IndyCars really make this weekend, and the IndyCars were the big thing I was actually kind of interested in going to this race for. And if they still raced at Pocono, or if the IndyCars were coming to New Hampshire, I would be booking that ticket so quick because I would love to see my first IndyCar race. And honestly, I'd probably want to see it on an oval. There are very few road courses that I would probably make that exception for. One of which would be probably Long Beach, because I think seeing the iconic fountain would actually be a pretty cool track to see. I guess if you guys were going to see an IndyCar race, would you guys go to an oval or a road course? 'Cause I feel like road courses, are so much more of a TV property because you're just picking essentially if you're going to a road course, unless it's a Roval where you can pick a seat in the oval section and see the road course. Yeah, most of the time you're picking just a section of corners that you want to be able to see for the road course. And then you're just hoping that the action is there. And if the action happens on the other end of the track, you have no idea what happened. And start having to look to TV replays. Versus at an oval, you can pick a seat and usually you can see all the way around the circuit. And no matter where the action is happening, you usually have a decent view. I mean, man, IndyCar's a gateway. That is a special show. That might be one I might make the trip for. I know I've got a buddy who is talking about when he wants to go to the go back to Indy to try and see the Indy 500 again. Toronto was the closest venue to you. It was always great. Markham doesn't look exciting. I don't know. I've heard some talk about Markham, and I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see it. I mean, obviously, it's something that we haven't seen yet, so obviously, tempering expectations. Can't get them too high, can't get them too low. But I'm excited for that race. Again, like with every new race, it can always flop, but Yeah, that is one I'm definitely curious to see. Man, power up 21 spots from the start of the race, but yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, they don't. The closest race to me would be what? Literally, what? What is the closest IndyCar race to me? Oh, Markham is a very meh place. Okay, yeah, when I was thinking you were saying Markham, I was actually thinking about the racing circuit itself. Yeah, I don't know much about the town that it's in. Toronto's obviously a much bigger city, but if the racing product is gonna be sizably better, then because and say, correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't the Toronto race been one of the been down there with Detroit for some of the kind of more boring street circuits on the IndyCar calendar? I mean, obviously, as someone who lives closer to the Toronto track, you can probably give a bit better of an experience on that one. Oh, Markham's actually that one's happening on my birthday. Okay, that's interesting. I just saw that race is happening literally at noon on my birthday. All right, so let's see. What is the closest race to me? Is it really DC? Ohio? Maybe Mid Ohio? It's either DC or Mid Ohio as the closest race to me. All right. You know what? While we're doing this, we're gonna keep an eye on the track. I want to know which of these is closer to me. Let's see. Mid Ohio sports car course. So it is a seven, and so it is a 13-hour drive to Mid Ohio. And let's see. And we're just gonna use the White House. Quite literally, Washington D.C. is the closest racetrack to me, and I'm in the Northeast. Emphasis on North. DC is not a Northeast venue. All right, we're gonna start seeing some pit stops here shortly. In fact, we're already Rasmussen making some passes there. Okay, Toronto's been pretty exciting. Okay. Yeah, I know Toronto's had some great races there in the recent past. I was just saying, like in particular, like over the last 5 races or so. Yeah, I also don't know what is going on around the town that might be also affecting whether or not IndyCar was going to be able to get a race in there. I do like the fact that they are racing north of the border, although I've always said that it feels weird to race at on the streets of Toronto when you could just go to Canadian Tire, which is a really fun venue that really doesn't get a whole lot of use anymore because like NASCAR trucks used to go up there for a race, but since the pandemic, they haven't gone back there. I'd like to see Canadian Tire get a significant motorsport date again. Does IMSA go up there? Because I'm not familiar with all the venues in IMSA. Does IMSA go to Canadian Tire? Again, Canadian Tire always seemed like a fun racetrack. And it'd be a shame to find out that just nobody's using it anymore. Let's see. Schedule. Sebring, Long Beach, Laguna Seca, Detroit, Glen, Canadian Tire. Okay, yeah. IMSA does go there. If I remember correctly, the World Cup issue. Is the issue. Okay, yeah, because the World Cup is happening there. Yeah, same reason why NASCAR isn't racing in Mexico City because the stadium section runs through is going to be used for a football match or soccer, as Americans say. But yeah, Canadian Tire though is hosting a World Endurance Championship event in July. Okay, interesting. So at least Canadian Tire is not completely out of stuff. Here we go. Rasmussen hitting pit road. Armstrong hitting pit road. Dixon hits pit road. Again, curious to see where all these guys start to cycle out when we get through all these pit stops. Again, I'm not planning on doing the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. I'm really tired. I had a long day at work, and I didn't have much, if any, time really to rest between getting home and turning on the stream. So yeah, I'm gonna call it as a single race tonight. But I will be back for the Cup Series race tomorrow. We will be here through the checkered flag, but I also know we're getting close-ish to the end of the race. So here we go. Looks like Dennis Hauger coming down pit road here. And that will hand the lead to Simpson here, Kiffin Simpson for the for the Ganassi team. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. Ericsson's been out there quite a while. 100, his last pit stop at lap 152. That is insane. Again, being able, as I say, he saved a decent amount of fuel to go that far. A lot further than some of these other guys who pit more recently. Ericsson to the top. Power, Pato Award, Kirkwood, Rasmussen, Newgarden into the top 6. Malukas is right there too, though. So, again, one caution, and we could have this thing bunched right back together in a insane battle here. But there we go. Ericsson relinquishes the lead to Will Power as Power passes on track here. And now Will Power out in front of the field on a short oval. This is starting to look like the Will Power of old, which we were worried might be gone after that poor qualifying effort. But there we go. Will Power in front of the field at a short oval, up 23 positions from where he started this race at the tail end of the field. Here we go. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so again, we're just chilling out here. We've officially crossed the 50 laps to go mark. Under 50 laps to go. Working our way through this one. It's been a pretty good race. And again, glad to see Will Power stepping back up there. I was never the biggest Will Power fan, but again, it's one of those things when they get later into their career, it's like you kind of start to just appreciate greatness. And again, Will Power has been great throughout his career. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan of him, especially at Penske, but again, I'm starting to learn to appreciate the greatness of these guys before they're gone. And yeah, again, Will Power is one of those, especially after the bad race at the bad street course race and then bad qualifying effort. It's like, okay, really rough start here in the new team, and the fact that he was replaceable at Penske, which is just insane to think that Penske found Will Power, a guy who won him at one of his Indy 500. In fact, the only Indy 500 winner on that team. Prior to Newgarden winning it. Well, I guess once Newgarden won it, he found Power a little bit replaceable, I guess. But yeah, I mean, obviously, there was a caution flag at the midway through this one for Louis Foster hitting the fence that happened while Will Power was in the lead, and that's how Will Power was able to cycle to the lead. There was a caution flag that allowed Power to get caught back up. But yeah, here we go. 205 laps here. Let's see. Again, 45 to go. We're counting these laps down pretty quick. But the fact that he's been able to defend it is the impressive thing. Here we go. Christian Rasmussen looking at the bottom, though. Rasmussen starting to attack Will Power. Let's see. Can Will Power hang on to this one? Under attack from Christian Rasmussen. He's looking high. He's looking low. But the Will Power still in front of the field here. Will Power hanging on. Is doing as much defensive driving as he is allowed to do. Oh, right into the fence goes. He just smacked the. He just smacked number 21 of Rasmussen up into the fence, and now it appears Will Power's car might be disabled. As Will Power's car appears to be. The wheels on one side are rolling, the other side are not, and it looks like Will Power may have just ended his own race here. Which is ironic because Rasmussen's the one that hit the fence. But, yeah, there we go. Will Power trying to put an insane amount of defense against Rasmussen ends up causing a caution flag and potentially putting his own race in jeopardy. Let's see this one again. Just goes up to try and block. Hits... Yeah, again, he hits the 21, and he is off the 21 before the 21 hits the wall. So, again, man, that is just a really bad... That is really bad luck that ended up breaking something on... Oh! He got off of everything but the winglet. The right at the front wing is what was able to go ahead and break the... this one. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, that was insane to watch. Alright, so there we go. Again, we're just chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We got 5 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's decided to spend that portion of your very valuable Saturday afternoon here with us as we've got ourselves 40 laps to go. Christian Rasmussen, Pato Award, Kyle Kirkwood, Newgarden, and Malukas at the front of the field. Gonna be curious to see how this one goes. Looks like we got a couple of guys coming down pit road. Alright. Again, Rasmussen, I would almost anticipate would have to come down pit road just to double check the car, but as they doing some swerves, making sure the wheels are all still working good. But yeah, I would like to see Will Power be able to show some real race pace. Again, Andretti has the stuff figured out for the road courses, so... And honestly, didn't Will Power used to be known as kind of like the street course king for a while in IndyCar? I mean, it was a while ago, but you pair up a guy who has been really good at specifically the street circuits with probably arguably one of the best teams at the street circuits. I would not be surprised to see Will Power be able to knock off some wins at some of those road and street circuits, and we do have quite a few of them on the schedule, so there's still plenty to talk about for Will Power throughout the rest of the season for sure. We'll be keeping an eye on him. There we go. Down that way, number 3, that is McLaughlin, who was on pit road there. So right now it's Rasmussen, Kirkwood, Malukas, Dixon, and Armstrong in the top 5. Wow. Santino Ferrucci inside the top, knocking on the door of the top 5. There we go. Santino, Ferrucci, Rosenquist, Dennis Hauger. After that early spin off the nose of Rasmussen, the fact that he's still up in the top 10 is pretty good. And then you got Pat O'Ward and Newgarden, which it looks like will restart 9th and 10th at the moment. And yeah, we are chilling here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Alright, so yeah, we're chilling out here. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. We're just waiting out this yellow flag period. If NASCAR could do this, Phoenix would still be the championship venue. Yeah, absolutely. This race has been phenomenal. I mean, especially for a venue that we really, as NASCAR fans, I think a lot of people kind of talk down about this venue, and it's like this venue puts on a really good show if you give it the chance. So here we go. Ooh, uh-oh. Something's going on up there. Uh-oh. We gotta see what's going on up there. Something's going on just off the back straightaway, it looks like. Hard to tell if it's smoke or a dust storm. If that's smoke, hopefully there's a controlled fire as opposed to a wildfire breaking out just outside the track. And if it's a dust storm, well, that's pretty normal for Arizona. But yep, Harbor Freight Power Performance. Yeah, talking about Rasmussen, who has led 44 laps on the day and has just absolutely powered his way to the front of the field here. All right, let's see. What is the fastest lap of the day? Currently held by Will Power. Will Power has the best lap of the day at 21.86 seconds. That is impressive. All right. So here we go. We'll have to wait and see how this one goes. We go back. Green, 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 green flags out. We are racing here at Phoenix. Once again, Rasmussen, Kirkwood, Malukas. Armstrong jumps up ahead of Dixon here early in the going. And say, I'm kind of curious to see what Santino Ferrucci's going to try and do here. Oh, we got somebody dropping way back here. But yeah, again, good restart there for everybody. It looks like everybody got away clean, but again, right now, Malukas sitting only sitting in third here. 2 drivers he needs to pass if he wants to win, and he's got 30 laps to do it. Go get him, Malukas. Let's go, Dave. Little Dave. All right, there we go. Pato O'Ward just set the best lap of that last time around, and here comes Pato O'Ward passing Ferrucci, and this is an absolute drive here. Pato O'Ward, Joseph Newgarden both out here trying to prove that they can go ahead and get this one. Joseph Newgarden takes the top spot that last lap by Rasmussen and Kirkwood, though, second and third. David Malukas was fifth on the lap times that last time by, which, again, is just insane to think about. Just how fast some of these guys are absolutely trying to power their way through the field. Award up 4 spots already since the restart. We just restarted, guys. We literally just had a restart like 2 seconds ago, and you're already up 4 spots. Insane. I mean, a good version of insane, but still insane. Alright, so there we go. Rossi making his way up through the field, passing Ferrucci. Seems like Ferrucci, well, up there, but Ferrucci really did not have the speed to go ahead and make it happen there. As he's just kind of falling back, and now here comes Award getting to the back of Armstrong here for the 4th position. Going to be looking to try and take this one as quickly as he can. 25 to go. These laps clicking off in a real hurry. Again, if you want to have a shot at Rasmussen or Kirkwood, you're going to have to start making aggressive moves here as soon as you can. All right, here we go. Here we go. 24 to go. Can you keep Rasmussen from finishing this one off? Can anybody stop Rasmussen at this point? I mean, he's got a 1.4 second lead on Malukas. He's got 2.5 seconds on Award. Right now, the only person really close to him would be Kyle Kirkwood, who could very well make an effort to try and pass him. But again, we'll have to wait and see when Kirkwood decides this is his move. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we are chilling here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, Ward and Newgarden on the fresh tires. Those are the drivers absolutely on the charge here. Newgarden Award, the 2 fastest last time by. Kirkwood and wow, Rasmussen was way down the leaderboard last time on the fast lap. Yeah, again, the pit stop. I assumed that there was a good chance that pit stop was going to be the one that changed it for Award. I was kind of surprised to see Malukas not come into the pits when Newgarden did. I would have thought, if anything, you want to have your younger driver, with as fresh a tires as you can get him for the end of this race. But I guess conventional strategy, if you have multiple cars, is to do 2 different strategies. That way, you maximize your chances of getting a win. All right, so there we go. Little Dave jumping up the speed leaderboard that last lap, though. Picking up a little bit of pace. Good job, David Malukas. He's got Award coming, so he knows he's got to be fast because, as I say, with Pato Award breathing down your neck, you don't really have the time to be patient. We're just chilling out here. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time. But yeah, 18 laps to go. It is clicking off in a hurry. Newgarden, the fastest driver once again that last lap. Oh, no. Graham Rahal and Marcus Armstrong actually bouncing back a little bit on that lap. That is a little bit of a surprise there. And I say, Pato Award was way down the list, the pecking order for that one. All right, so here we go. 17 laps to go here. Not 17 seconds to go. If we get only 17 seconds to go, that'd mean about 1 lap. All right, so we got Rasmussen out in front of the field here. He's got Kirkwood about 2 to 4 tenths back. Meanwhile, Malukas and Award are closing in on them in a hurry as well. Under a second now to Malukas. And Award is right there too. So again, it is now officially a 4-car race here at least. I say Newgarden's on the charge and trying to make it a 5-car race here pretty soon. So again, be careful. Whew. So again, Rasmussen versus Kirkwood. This is gonna be an interesting one to watch on track. See how these two handle each other. Again, no teammates, not even manufacturer teammates. Kirkwood, the only Honda in the top 5 at the moment, with 4 Chevys there. I'm gonna be curious to see. Again, in terms of laps led on the day, you got a Ward with 10 of them. Rasmussen definitely has the most laps led. Alright, 12 laps to go. 12 more times around. We are working our way through this one pretty effectively up to this point. Alright, let's see. Alright, again, let's see if those, okay, Newgarden passes a Ward. Let's see, have the speeds kind of slowed down or neutralized at all here? Oh, Kirkwood and Newgarden, top of the speed charts again. Alright. Alright, 10 laps to go. Rasmussen still out in front over Kirkwood. Newgarden, though, is now past his teammate. Joseph Newgarden on a tear here, trying to take this one. And here comes Kyle Kirkwood. He's starting to get impatient here. He sees Newgarden coming in the mirror. And Kyle Kirkwood looking to the bottom of the racetrack. Christian Rasmussen on the top. Not going to be able to hold him off. Kyle Kirkwood out in front of the field. Oh, yeah. Newgarden is on a tear here, trying to come up through the field. And here we go. Here comes Newgarden to the inside of Rasmussen. Rasmussen just nothing left in that number 21 Chevy to try and hold him off. Newgarden versus Kirkwood now. It is the battle for the lead. 8 laps to go. If Kirkwood can just keep him back there for 7.5 more laps, he will have a good shot at blocking his way to the championship. Or not championship, sorry. I'm so used to NASCAR deciding a championship at Phoenix, but to the end of the race. 7 laps to go. 7 laps to go here. Kirkwood needs to try and hold off Newgarden here for the race win. If he can hold him off for the race win, that'll be some much needed points towards that potential championship. But it is definitely for it's gonna be an interesting one to see regardless. Alright, here we go. Newgarden with a massive move to the lead. Joseph Newgarden to the lead of the race over Kyle Kirkwood. 6.5 laps to go, and there is no way right there. There's no coming back from that one. 5 laps to go. Newgarden has got this. Nobody even close. Nobody has that kind of energy. And here we go. Joseph Newgarden, your NTT INDYCAR Series Good Ranchers 250 winner at Phoenix International Raceway. Just an absolutely massive move there to come out on top here. 4 laps to go for Joseph Newgarden. 4 laps to go. And again, nobody even in the picture. Christian Rasmussen runs, so he ends up falling all the way back to 8th place. Seems like he was just, he burned up all of his equipment here because he is fading and fading fast. Falls now to 10th, and I would not be shocked to see him fall further. Yeah, as Simpson, Ferrucci are right there as well. But yeah, here we go again. All right, 2 laps to go. Again, this one pretty much over. Nobody is catching Joseph Newgarden. 1.6 seconds back is Kirkwood. Malukas going to come home with a good podium finish, but unfortunately not able to match his result from qualifying with a first place. But his first career pole position and a strong third place finish in the race. Not bad at all. White flag, 1 lap to go for Joseph Newgarden. As Joseph Newgarden is putting on a absolute clinic. And again, you needed to make that pit stop with him. And yeah, even if you pitted with him, it was going to be tough to keep up with Joseph Newgarden, as Newgarden is just a dominant driver at these short ovals. Iowa, Gateway, here. These types of short ovals are right up Newgarden's alley. Kirkwood comes home second. Malukas third. Award fourth. And rounding out your top 5 will be Marcus Armstrong. As per usual, Newgarden just blitzed by. He's got this in the bag. Yeah, he absolutely did. But yeah, as per usual, we will go through the full finishing order. But again, if you guys just came for the race reaction, that is the end of it. Congratulations to Joseph Newgarden on the win. And yeah, look forward to seeing the next race at. I'm going to be definitely watching the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. Just not going to be streaming it because, again, I'm a little bit tired. But I'll be watching that one, and we'll be back here tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series. So, again, hopefully you enjoyed it. And, again, we'll go through the full finishing order. So, let's go ahead and get the positions in order here. So again, we already told you Newgarden out front, Kyle Kirkwood with an impressive second place finish. Again, if he can just keep consistency going, he can be in range of a championship later this year. He just needs to be consistent. He's good enough at both the road and street circuits and the ovals, which is that good mix that you need for a championship. David Malukas in the third position. Again, that first win is coming. I don't know where or when it'll come, but David Malukas is looking too good in his first oval with Team Penske to not win and win soon. Yeah, then we got Pato O'Ward coming up fourth place. Good job for Pato. He pitted with Newgarden and just could not make the same speed. Again, just that Penske difference right there. Then you got Marcus Armstrong, the highest, another really good finish for Marcus Armstrong. Good job there. Alexander Rossi comes home sixth. Seventh will be Scott Dixon. Eighth, the other Scott from New Zealand, Scott McLaughlin. Then you got Graham Rahal and Kiffin Simpson rounding out your top 10. Santino Ferrucci in 11th. Felix Rosenquist in 12th. 13th, Christian Lundgaard. 14th will be Christian Rasmussen. Wow, Rasmussen really fell off a cliff there at the end. And Dennis Hauger coming home in the 15th position. I believe that makes him still the top rookie of the race, which is insane to think about. Because again, he was the first caution of the day, but he had great car control and kept that thing under him. Will Power comes home 16th after his issues. Marcus Ericsson coming home 17th, not bad. Yeah, Mick Schumacher after a top 5 qualifying performance. Apparently that qualifying performance was a little bit misleading as he comes home 18th and was kind of just not really relevant all afternoon long. So Mick Schumacher coming home 18th. Looking forward to seeing what he can do when he gets back to some of the tracks he's more familiar with on the road and street circuits. Kaio Collette comes home in the 19th position, and rounding out your top 20 will be Nolan Siegel. The rest of the field was comprised of Stingray Robin 21st, 22nd for Rinus VK, those being the last drivers who finished the race, and then Louis Foster, Alex Palou, and Romain Grosjean all ended up out of the race with a variety of incidents, but that is your field from the Good Ranchers 250. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy this stream, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Again, we'll be back for the Cup Series race tomorrow afternoon. But until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video, live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and goodbye!